Hi, everyone, and welcome to the End of Life Journey and Beyond, the Sands of Time. My name is Lisa Strahs-Lorenc, and I am a bereavement specialist. And I'm glad to see you, Susan. Welcome.
Lisa, welcome. And so happy to see you today as well. So I want to welcome everybody who's listening in and just say that today we're talking about something that's close to all of our hearts, how to honor and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries for those that we've lost. So losing someone is never easy. We all know that. If you're watching our channel, you know that too. But finding ways to keep their memory alive can bring comfort and joy. So today, Lisa and I want to bring few meaningful ideas for you. So whether you're looking for a way to remember a parent, a friend, a spouse, or anyone in your life, maybe you will find at least maybe just one idea that can resonate with you because not all of them will. To turn those special days into beautiful celebrations of love and memories. So, welcome again, everybody. And Lisa, why don't you take off with this
Sure.
morning?
So it's been 15 years since my husband's been gone, and today is his birth date. Okay, so today he would have turned 72. And people say to me, well, my loved one is gone and many, many years. And so yeah, I don't really need to do anything, or I don't feel like doing anything about that. And for me, now everything that we will discuss is very personal to the person. Everybody decides what it resonates to them, what they feel, what they need. And this is very important because after a certain amount of time, some people don't need or don't want to celebrate or to even mention the day. And in fact, some people find that that's sadder for them, or that doesn't bring them any comfort at all. And so you have to look and say to yourself, what's important to me? What will be meaningful to me? So I'm going to share with all of you, for me, the days that, like this day. So I am a tradition person. I love doing things that, um, that have to do with memories, that have to do with things that were important to us. So today, on this day, the first thing I did was share a bunch of pictures and albums on Facebook. And I share parts of his life when he was born and what he did. And I've got lots of pictures. And I share those. And what's really nice is that people wish him a happy heavenly birthday. They do likes, they do loves. I love that. That for me personally makes it seem like he's not gone, not forgotten, not gone. And that again is my personal feeling. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is, a long time ago, I showed this online memorial that I had created for him. And I love that online memorial because I add to it, there's a journal in there and I add all kinds of information. So today I placed a flower and I did a candle. And these are all virtual, wonderful things. What I love about it is that when I show the link, that people do go on and they say something and they remember something, or they even just acknowledge that they knew him. And for me, that's very comforting. I hold on to somebody's memory. It could be my mother, it could be my father, because I celebrate their birthdays too, and my husband. So that's me, and that's what I do. I will share, I'll take a second to share this really beautiful site.
I
I
also
love
want
web.
to, I also want to note, Lisa, that if we're only going to show you a minute of the site, but if you like the site and you're interested in that, Lisa and I have done a whole video just on this portal. Okay, so go back and look for it and you can get connected to it. She tells you how in that video. But I think that was one of our most viewed videos, as a matter of fact, Lisa, wasn't it?
It was. It's easy, and they have a template for you. So all you have to do is go in. You can choose backgrounds. I change his background. I change his picture Right now it's apple picking, which we always did in the fall. I changed his clothing. I changed the seasons. That's just me. That's what I enjoy. But there is a memorial wall. There are flowers that you can leave. I already left a flower celebrating his birthday today. And then you can even put in your own journal, which is real. People sign a guest book, which is really nice, and flowers. Flowers. It just for me means that he hasn't been forgotten. And I love that. And the candles, they're visitor candles. And so sweet of people to go in and to remember him, special days. And I love this. And it's a yearly fee. It was much less when I was doing it, but it is a yearly fee. But as I said, you don't have to be some genius when it comes to figuring something out. This is really a template that is right here already. So sure, there's a great site that we went through the whole thing of how to put it together and the different aspects of it. So for me, I add to it. And when I post information about today, his birth date, I put in the link so that other people might post and share. So,
Very nice. So yeah, fine. And if you do like this, it's a beautiful thing. Go back and look for that video. And I was very impressed. I didn't think it was that expansive or that beautiful as it was. And I was very impressed to see the video. So that was a great video that we did. So check that out.
yes. So the
So
rest of the day, there might be, we're going to give lots of examples of things, but for me, the rest of the day, I love one of the movies that we enjoyed together, and I watch it every year. It's The Big Chill. And it's a great 60s, 70s kind of movie about college students coming back together again after many, many years and how life has changed for them and all their ideals and all. And we watch that. We love that movie. The music and the actors, performers, amazing. So I watch that and I love that. And I've done that with my parents' birthdays as well. There are certain movies that were special. You can, look, that you can do videos, you can look at pictures, albums, and there's a lot of ways that you can honor and celebrate that person. So, and again, this is a choice. You may decide that this day is just another day, and there's no reason to now bring up all kinds of past whatever. And people feel that way, and that's fine. I'm not saying to feel a certain way. I'm saying find what is right for you and what makes you feel comforted. I would not have something on his day. That's my point. He was born on this day, and I honor his life for the 56 years that he was alive.
and then again, Lisa, this is just how Lisa is.
That's right.
So we do want to mention that Lisa's a little more loving and flashy in her own way when it comes to celebrating end of life, and I'm learning from her over these years. I'm a little more conservative and quiet in those efforts. One thing that I really learned from Lisa through these videos is just what you're talking about, the movie thing. So my husband was a movie buff too, as am I. He had certain shows that he watched all the time. Deadliest Catch and what's the other one? Duck Dynasty and all these weird shows that I don't watch. There are certain shows that he could watch 500,000 times. I'm not kidding around. Like I don't know who can watch a movie that many times. I'd get up in the middle of the night and he can't sleep and that movie's on. So one of them is Dances with Wolves, and that one is a very long, but it's a Zen-like kind of really relaxing movie. So I decided to watch that movie recently over the last few years, right? And it was kind of nice because I did not dare myself to watch that movie before. But then hearing you talk about it, Lisa, I thought, well, all right, I can give this a try. So it was really kind of nice that I did that, and it felt special, even though I didn't think it would. It did feel a little special in honoring his memory. So that worked. That worked for me.
Mhm.
Um, there are so many different suggestions. And I was researching a few before the video, and they're not things I haven't heard before, but maybe they're things that you haven't heard before.
Absolutely.
Was there anything else you want to touch on before we touch on some of
No,
these other things, Lisa?
no, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear them. Yeah.
Okay, great. So some of them are common, like planting a tree or having a little garden outside that you could sit by, reflect, read. Make that a yearly tradition. Um, the tree is nice to have all year. We did that with my mother-in-law, and everybody came, all the grandchildren, and to plant that tree, and we made a big deal out of it. So something like that is nice. Again, Lisa said the album or the scrapbook to do something with photos, even if it's just inviting a few people over and looking at the photos and having some conversations. That's not such a big deal. And as a matter of fact, I don't know why I don't do that, because that's family. Um, so my sister-in-law and my a separate cousin was over recently over the weekend, and her husband had passed. He's my first cousin who I was very close to. That was her husband, and we grew up together. And we started talking about him, and then we started talking about my husband, and and the memories, and then having my sister-in-law there to interject her stories of the two of them. It was kind of nice that we were telling stories, and I haven't done that in a while with people. So the communing together, we didn't have pictures out, but just the storytelling that we remembered, that was really nice. And make a favorite meal, make his favorite meal, order Chinese food if that's what it is, and have a couple people over.
Even the
You can,
favorite restaurant. There's people who love a certain restaurant, and you can go to
yeah,
that restaurant as well.
that's right. That's right. You may won't not want to celebrate like that and have something at the house, but think of something that they were passionate about. Maybe they were a big animal lover, and you can volunteer a few hours a week at a local shelter, and that's something you want to do in their honor. So we've talked about a lot of this, Lisa and I, these little things that you can do. You can even just make a donation. Make a donation in their name somewhere. Write out the check and send it out, and there you go. That's a way to honor
Honor
them
them.
and create a special memory. Creating memory boxes. Uh, Again, just lighting a candle.
Yep.
As silly as that sounds, sometimes I light a candle just because I like the scent. I'm a big candle person in my house, so I like it at the beginning of the day. But then there are other days that I light it for a different reason. And it's just the spiritual practice of lighting the candle and thinking your memory and thinking your thoughts. Um, Making a playlist, having somebody help you make a playlist with their favorite songs.
Yeah.
And that's something you can do on their birthday. Now, again, yeah, I don't do this. I don't do this every year because to me, it's more of a tearjerker,
Some
right, Lisa?
some people feel that way. Some people feel, listen, I don't want to cry. I don't want to get sad again. I don't want to get depressed or whatever. And you're entitled to feel that way. If it's not comforting to you. I think it's very therapeutic for everybody. I do. But you
10
have to.
years later, 10 years later, not to scare anybody listening to this, but I still am have a hard time when it comes to putting the ornaments on the tree that night. Right? So this year I'm not going with a real tree anymore, and I caved and I bought a fake tree. Again, it's so beautiful. And I'm like, I'm starting this early. I'm going to do a little tiny bit each day so I don't have the impact of that night, because that was something we did together forever. He did the lights, I did the ornaments. We had a glass of wine, we had the music on, and that's what we did. And it's still tough on me. It's still. So we're not saying that these things won't be tough on you, but you can incorporate little things like the movie, like starting your tree a little earlier and doing a couple ornaments each day versus the whole, kit and caboodle that'll bring you down. Um, what else? I have a whole list here, but I don't want to go through every single thing. Again, taking a hike, if you're a creative, paint. Paint a photo to celebrate their birthday, if that's something that you do, with your creative time. Writing, maybe make a poem, write a poem,
Or a
you
letter.
know,
Write a
write
letter.
a letter, write a letter, keep them in the box. Try doing that every year. And there are so many things you can watch, so many videos that we've done. But it doesn't have to be one of those specific things either. It could be just waking up and saying, okay, I'm gonna do a random act of kindness today for your birthday. And maybe that means getting online at Starbucks and buying the person's coffee behind you. And it could be as simple as that, but that will stay with you all day because you felt like you did something to honor their memory. So it doesn't have to be a big celebration. You don't have to follow any of the suggestions that we give you in any of our videos, but there are little things, that may help you along your own journey. What are you thinking, Lisa? Anything
No,
jump out at you?
what I want people to understand is that the
Yeah,
years go by. And that jar that I had put up many years ago about how grief is still always with you, it's not that it disappears, it's that your jar of life gets larger. And the grief is always there because you've lost your loved one or loved
you don't,
ones.
you don't have that photo again right there, do you?
I have to find it. If you wait a couple minutes,
No,
uh,
that's okay. I don't want you to be
yeah, I
distracted.
hadn't planned to show it again, but it's wonderful to see really what the reality is. So then, as the years pass, you say to yourself, so now what part is still part of me? What part of that person is still part of me? And so for me, the memories, I love memories and I love celebrating. So, people say, well, it's 10 years, it's 15 years, why? Why? Because their life was still part of your life, the impact of their life. They're still part of you. And so for me personally, it's wonderful to acknowledge that they're still there somewhere, even though they're not physically here. And that's the relief that I get. And if you're sad, that's okay. They're not here and it's okay to be sad. But the fact is that this is still part of your life. They're still there. It's like when I talk to my grandchildren and I say, Grandpa Fred would do this, or he liked this, or it's the legacy then that I'm passing down about him to them. I mean, my oldest granddaughter would love to be an architect, and my husband was an architect. I mean, that's wonderful, because that's her interest. So it's not about the years, it's about what's meaningful and what you feel you want to incorporate in your life. And you figure that out, that personal thing, and you figure that out. And I know people are afraid of being sad or afraid of being depressed at that moment because the person's not there and all. There's nothing wrong with that. It shows that we love them and that they were part of our lives. What do
Right.
we expect? And as I said, 15 years down the road, and I have another relationship. I am, I've moved on, quote, moved on, but he's still part of my life, just like my partner's wife is part of his life, you know, because of all those years that we spent together. That's what makes us who we are. So to try for us personally to try and just forget that they were there and now we're here would be very depressing for us. More depressing for us that way. And yet there are other people who feel no, that's not what I want. So I just want people to understand that this is very personal, just like your holidays are very personal, all your celebrations are very personal. But as the years go by, I want people to figure out what is important to them about that person, that loss and all, and what aspects they might want to keep in their lives about that person. You gave some great examples of things, and they can be very small things, but they still make somebody feel like that person was still around, you know?
It could be something as simple, Lisa, as wearing their sweatshirt,
That's right. That's
right?
right. That's right.
Right? Or
I got a
wearing
great example.
mom's
I'm glad
wear
you mentioned that.
Sure. It could be something as simple as that, but what I want to emphasize and what's helped me is here is the day, and today I'm just going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be gentle with myself. So even if it's going and getting a pedicure or um, relaxing and just watching, having a movie day or something, be gentle with yourself. You deserve that.
That's right. That's right.
You deserve that. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the clothing because I've got a jacket story that's really great. In 2000, we went cross country in our RV, and it was just an amazing trip. And we were at the Grand Canyon, and there was like a trading post place. Now, this is 2000, so that's 24 years ago. And we went into the trading post, and I saw this gorgeous black and white jacket, had a wolf in the back, and it was like fuzzy and furry and stuff. And it was breathtaking. So I looked at the price. It was $75 in 2000. Okay. So I said to Fred, my husband, that this is crazy. It's a lot of money. And I walked out. I thought he was behind me, but he was not. And he bought it. And he brought it out to me. And he said,
Uh,
it's gorgeous. And I want you to have it. Don't you know that whenever I wear that jacket, first of all, I love it. But secondly, I always hear something about it. I love that wolf. I can't, that's a beautiful jacket. It's so fuzzy and furry and whatever. And it's just like you said. It's something special. It's a remembrance of that person. It's a remembrance of that time together.
it also takes you back to that special
Yes,
moment. That was a very special moment in time.
yes,
That
it
was
was.
so loving and it was so intimate between the two of you. So maybe you can think of a moment like that, and find a way to bring something in that will make you smile,
Yes,
or a funny time just to get hysterical, get laughing, talk to somebody who misses them as much as you do, and share those stories. But
right. That's right. For me,
yeah,
I just don't want that person to disappear. And that's true of my mom. It's true of my dad, because on their birthdays, I do special things that, we shared, and that means something to me. So it's the same thing. And my father's been gone 40 years. Okay. And for 40 years, I have still watched that same movie. The beautiful, beautiful movie that reminds me of fathers and what they mean to daughters. Father-daughter movie. Um,
you
and
know, my
that's
my
Yentl, by the way.
husband, gentle, yeah.
Love it.
My husband was so funny. He made so many people laugh, and a lot of people have funny memories. So I just thought of that as well, inviting a group of people over and asking them on a little piece of paper to bring one memory,
Love that.
to bring one memory, and then how that could be thought provoking and invoke a lot of discussion when everybody's laughing about the funny memories. That's a
I
good
love
idea.
that.
I've never done that, but I'd be curious to see what the kids would come up with. And
Yeah. 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 I love that. That's beautiful.
yeah,
So again, it's so personal. And what we do here is we try to show that there are so many ways to honor people and remember our loved ones and moving on with our lives. And that's part of our job. You and I, are doing this differently. And there's not right or wrong, but there's how we feel and what means something to us. And that's what we want to show people, that you explore and figure out, all right, so what's going to make me feel good and what makes me feel like I'm honoring somebody or remembering somebody, or maybe just let the day go because honestly, I don't really want to make a big deal over it. And that's your prerogative. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like when people say to you, it's been 2 years. Okay, move on. I mean, there's not that formula. And hopefully they've learned that after all of our videos that we've been doing. It shows that people are all individuals, that we all honor people differently, that we all need different things to keep us moving and feeling comforted. All of us are very, very different people. And we respect that. But if you can hear different ideas and if they resonate with you and there are things that you really want or feel that this might help you, that's what we're here for. That's what we do here, you and I.
that
You
was
and
really nice. And please, on that note, if there is a particular topic that we haven't covered or haven't talked about in a long time, please leave us a message, and we'll explore that because we're always looking for new and different ideas to help everybody at home, especially when they're going through some challenging times like end of life, whether it's before, during, or after. So these are so important to Lisa and I. We're so happy that you're listening in. Please share and like our videos. In my spare time, I do work a couple of days for Tully Law Group, creating legacy wills for families, which is a really beautiful extended document to include in your estate plan. So I do that two days a week in Melville. I can tell you more about that. And I have my legacy practice where I work on 4 different projects. And now is the time to think about this actually before the holidays. Give a gift certificate. We can plan our session together next February or March. It doesn't matter, but it's a really nice gift to give so that the stories and memories are held within your family's treasure box for generations to come. It's really important. Give me a call and I could tell you more about that. And Lisa, I know you've been pretty busy
Yeah,
lately
so
doing it.
I am conducting 2 groups. One is in a retirement home, and that involves caregivers, and it also involves people who are grieving more recent losses of their spouses. And the other group is through a widowers group, and it's an ongoing support group. And we're actually going to be discussing the holidays and how do we do with the holidays coming up, without your loved ones. So we meet once a month, and I like reaching out and helping people at wherever they're at. So
Lisa, both of these are in person, right, Lisa? So if anybody
those
has
are
any
both in person, both in person.
contact Lisa, if you have any questions and she can help you out with that.
Yeah,
So this was wonderful, and I hope this helped a few people. Again, we incorporate a lot of this in a lot of our different videos, so take a look there and see which one might resonate with you. And again, if you have any ideas, please leave us some information and we can get to your idea and get it out there circulating for people who need help
yes.
during this time in their lives.
And happy birthday to my husband, Fred. What a
Yes,
great man and what a wonderful life we had together for 33 years. So I celebrate him today.
it's a beautiful thing. All right,
Okay.
Lisa, we'll
Thank
see you
you.
next. Thank you
Yep.
for today.
Okay.